I think it's going to be Inter, Juve.
Inter first?
You see?
My guy.
What do you mean? Look.
I love this
you
guy.
See, he likes to say this, but he doesn't predict it officially because he's too scared.
No, I'm not scared.
I know.
I still think Juve going to win
I know.
it, but I want Inter to win it, for the sake of the Serie A, more competitive.
Keep going.
Okay, go. Inter, Juve.
Inter, Juve, Napoli. Yeah,
I
Roma.
I just forgot.
Roma I don't like. I probably put Lazio.
Ooh, okay.
What is up, everybody, and welcome back to Italian Football TV. A different look right now. We got my dad. We got Gaetano back from Italy. A nice little trip from Sicily. And then at the Fiorentina game, you saw an unbelievable Fiorentina-Napoli. So welcome back. How was your trip, first of all?
Great. I went to Sicily for a few days. Nice weather and good food. I had so much cannoli and gelato. My stomach.
Sounds good.
I'm hiding my stomach right now.
You're making us jealous.
And of course the cookies, the Sicilian cookies.
You brought us some back.
Yeah,
I brought some back.
Always thinking of us. Great guy.
And then we went to Firenze. I spent a couple of days in Firenze. We went invited by Joe Barone. We went to see the game.
Like Peter.
Peter, believe it or not, I didn't see him.
You never ran into him?
Even
No.
better, right?
We were supposed to get together after the game, but then I was a little bit disappointed. The result was a great game, but the result was a bit disappointed at the end. So we kind of, after the game, instead of having a nice get-together party type of thing, everybody kind of went their way. So too bad, because the first half hour the Fiorentina play was amazing. They put pressure. They won every ball. They had the chances to score. But then we know at the end what the result was. So good luck to Commisso and to Joe. It's going to be tough. It's the first year. They change a lot of players. They have a lot of new players, so before you put everything together, it's going to take some time.
Yeah.
And then starting with Napoli and Juventus, the next game is Juventus, and the first three games, it's not easy. It's not an easy start, but maybe they can do something good against, in the next couple of games.
Yeah, I think their goal is going to be top 10, and I think that we saw good signs. Like the first 30 minutes, they were unbelievable against Napoli. And then they were pretty unlucky. They were very unlucky to not get a result in that game. Very, very unlucky. But I think you saw probably what could be one of the best games of the year.
And especially, with Mertens, everybody saw it, that it was not a penalty, so that hurt it a little bit. Actually, at halftime, you sent me the video that he dove, that Mertens dove, and I showed it to Joe Barone, and actually, I lost my phone for the next 15 minutes because he
kept showing the whole video.
He showed it to everybody, which was the right thing.
Yeah.
It was not a penalty, and
I sent you a good angle on that one too.
Yeah, it was good. And we're gonna talk about later about the VAR, or you wanna?
Yeah, we'll talk about it later. We'll talk about it later.
Okay, so later we'll talk about the VAR.
But good.
And the controversy.
It seemed like your trip was you went to a good game. I'm happy that you ended up going. Even though the result, I don't think it's as bad, because like I was saying, the outlook is that Fiorentina could have a really good season. That Fiorentina last year, they would never have scored 3 goals against Napoli. They would never have put up a fight like that.
They played
that's more.
They played amazing.
That's more of the storyline at the end of the day. But anyway, we're good. We don't have Antonio. We know Antonio's back in Bari. He's sending us a lot of crazy videos all the way from Bari. That you missed so many crazy predictions from Antonio on the show. Him and Ludovico, they almost killed each other a couple more times when they were on. Anything crazy off the top of our head that he brought up again? 90% of the penalties are shot in the middle. Remember he said that after who went in the middle the other day? No, it was some penalty that they went to the left, but Antonio thought it was the middle. And he kept saying that.
From the first angle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then it changed afterwards.
It's the body angle.
And his guy, the guy Gaetano Castrovilli from Fiorentina, he was really good.
Yeah.
Antonio says he's 45 million already after the first game.
Yeah, no, he's good. He's good. I followed him because of his name, and yeah, he's doing pretty well.
But he's 45 million because he's from Bari.
Okay.
If he was from like Roma or something, 5 million, you know.
If he was from Torino, he wouldn't even be a good player for Antonio. But anyway, we got there was so much that happened. Round 2 of Serie A, again, goal fest, Napoli, Juventus, and so much other. But before we get into the podcast, I want to remind everybody, next week, 1 week from today, 9/9/19, September 9th, we have a new drop coming out. The flags that you could see that you guys voted for on our Instagram stories. We got 3 versions. This is the first one, and we have another 2 that are going to be up on the website. This shirt that I'm wearing,
do a little spin.
Sundays are for Calcio. On the back, we'll put it up on the screen.
Okay.
And mugs, and the Sundays are for Calcio mugs. So we got 3 new items are dropping. The quantities are pretty limited, especially these shirts. And even on these we're never going to be making again, the mugs and this. And same thing in this variant. So September 9th, 12 p.m., everything's dropping.
And guys, put post notifications on, especially for Instagram at ItalianFootballTV, because last time we sold out in a matter of hours, and we kept getting DMs if we're gonna restock them. We're probably not gonna restock them.
I think 4 hours the last one stopped. Everybody got so mad at us. The Sundays are for
sold
Calcio.
out so quick.
That we dropped. We went on the flight, and when we came out, they were sold out. So everybody keeps messaging us to do them again. So if you want one,
make
be quick
sure
with
post
it.
notifications on, guys. Get them early before they're all
12
sold
p.m.
out.
It'll be 12 p.m.
You guys are doing a good job with this, with the all these items and the T-shirts. I see these T-shirts all over the place. I mean, I saw Douglas Costa
Yeah, he did.
with the T-shirt. I see people on TV with the T-shirts. People go to the soccer games and they have the shirt. So good job.
And a lot of people knew you from the podcast too, right? You said a few days ago.
Oh
so
yeah. I get stopped when I go play soccer. Says, I follow your son. I follow Mike. He goes, good job.
Good. Yeah, no, everybody. So if you want anything, the flags, they're huge. They're insane. They're really good quality.
They're like good quality, an
crazy.
actual flag. So if you guys go to the games, you got to bring them.
Yes.
Rep them. Send us some pictures.
We're waiting. We want to see who's going to be the first person to get this on
send us-
TV.
yeah,
Like go to the San
exactly.
Siro, you hang it up, and who's going to get on TV.
That'd
That's
be cool.
nice. So we said the first person who gets that, they're going to get something sent to them. Something
for sure.
signed.
All right, good
some
job.
signed players. Anyway, let's go to the games. We're going to start with Juventus Napoli, I think.
Oh boy, starting off with a big bang.
I think we kind of have to.
That was
Juventus
that was
Napoli
insane.
4-3, another drama-filled match in Serie A. Juventus were up 3-0 in this game. 3-0. My prediction before was a tie. I was saying that Napoli were at least going to get a tie. And Napoli ended up getting back into this match. 3 goals from 3 new signings. Of course, one of them had to be freaking Manolas.
Why are you saying it like it's a bad thing?
Chucky Lozano, first Mexican player to ever score in the league,
in
by
the
the
Serie
way.
A, which is incredible. Me
That's
and Marco
unbelievable.
still didn't believe it. When we heard the first Mexican player to ever do it,
We had to check
that's
a couple times.
A few times.
And then Di Lorenzo, and they went 3-3. And then in the 92nd minute, we all saw what happened with Koulibaly, who scored an own goal that was just
So harsh. Man.
incredible. It was crazy. And Juventus ended up getting away with a 4-3 win after missing so many chances in the first half. Crazy game. Where we're going to start. What did you think about the game?
Well, the first 60 minutes it could have been 4-0, 5-0, and that probably would have sealed the game. But 3-0
Wasn't enough.
It was not enough, and the mentality now is different than Allegri. I mean, this would never happen with Allegri, but the mentality is now different. I think if you're winning 3-0, you're looking for the 4th goal, which they did, but they didn't get it. So what happens is now Napoli came back, and they came back in a couple of minutes. They scored 2 goals, and all of a sudden it became a 3-3 game, which the next day, if it would remain 3-3, the next day I think the Sarri would have been criticized. But unfortunately, Koulibaly is not at his best. It's probably one of the worst games that I've seen him.
Even for Fiorentina.
He made inside the area. He made the Higuain turn on him and score an unbelievable goal. Which, if he would have been a little bit closer to Higuain wouldn't be able to. So, and then at the end, that was unfortunate. But he's not in the best of shape right now.
Because he came back late from.
They said that he came back from the cup in Africa, and it shouldn't be like this. And they should, for the future, they should give the players enough time for them to recuperate from before the season starts. So those are some of the things. But a lot of goals have been scored. a lot of mistakes have been made by the defenders. So yeah, they're scoring a lot of goals, but I see a lot of mistakes from the defenders. So overall, I'm not impressed with Napoli after the first 2 games. I think they have a lot to still work on, especially with the center forward. They have no center forward, so they probably work on that. With, I believe, Llorente. I think Llorente is done. Is a done deal. So I'm sure that Ancelotti will look at other tactical setups with Llorente being there. So we'll see.
I thought it was pretty crazy, to be honest. I didn't think it'd be that high scoring. And when it went 3-0, I didn't think Napoli weren't going to come back. Only because Juve could have, like you said, Juve could have scored 5 goals in the first half, and I was like, now it's just going to be a dog pile.
Khedira was hit the post, and it was
exactly
a one-on-one with the goalkeeper, so that
it could have been bad. But what do you call it? When Milan scored that goal, I thought it was really a consolation. They weren't going to do much, but they really came back. I give a lot of respect to Ancelotti because first half they played horrible, really bad. But second half,
he took out Insigne. He took out Insigne, and that's when it.
I said that was very brave. I was like, a lot of coaches wouldn't do that, but he did that. They brought in all the players in, and they came back. And unfortunately, for how things went, even though Juve, like we said, Juve could have been up 5-0, how things went from coming back from 3-3. Your best player, you're one of the best defenders in the world, if not the best. He concedes that kind of goal. That happens. I'm just surprised that Napoli's defense is still like that. Like, I thought first game was like, okay, whatever, it's the first game. And second game, too, they're conceding that much.
Even Goulam is out of position completely.
Yeah.
Di Lorenzo was their best fullback. Was their best defender. Di Lorenzo was literally the best
I also
defender.
wanted to bring up the Higuain thing on how well he's been doing. He's been, like, almost pushed out of the club, but he really stated how he wants to stay and work hard. And I also want to bring it back because, Gaetano, I remember you didn't want to sell Higuain at first. And you're like, I like Higuain. He's a hungry player.
Even
he knows
last
the
year.
league. Even last year, before he left. So when he scored that, I was like, wow, he's really hard worker, just giving his best. And I thought about what you were saying about Higuain, that he should have stayed. So now it could be like almost like a blessing in disguise that no one got him. He could be like a variable for Juve, be playing very good like he did a few years ago. So
first of all, for Koulibaly, I'll say Koulibaly has saved Napoli an endless amount of times. Exactly. He's a world-class defender. It happens. Like you said, he's not fit. Really, really stupid because there was no Juventus even striker or anything inside the box. He had 3 Napoli players behind him, I believe, and even Meret could have came out and grabbed the ball from him if there was a better communication. I don't even know how he hits the ball into the top right corner like that.
That would never happen.
Never,
he did 100 times.
Never expected it from Koulibaly.
Yeah, he hit his shin.
Yeah, hit his shin. I think he was probably hitting it towards the left. He hit it with his shin, and it went in.
Happens to the best of them.
But yeah, like, and also speaking about defensive mistakes, De Ligt was horrible. Probably the worst start to a debut that you could get.
Lozano goal,
and I remember last week, Juve fans were so upset and criticizing Sarri for not giving De Ligt any minutes. And then, of course, we know Chiellini tore his ACL. He's going to be out for 6 to 7 months, and literally the moment that I saw that, I knew it was going to be a problem. As I've been saying for years, Chiellini is Juventus' most important piece. It was proved last year when Juventus lost Chiellini in the versus Ajax in the Champions League. He's more important than any other Juventus player. And I know everybody was like, oh, who cares? It's fine. They got De Ligt, who's world class, but you could see even the muscle cramps that he was getting. The guy's not fit to play. He was not ready in a new tactical system with a new team, new partnership, and he was not match fit. So I knew it was going to be an issue. I didn't think it would be that bad. It's still his first game. I'm not concerned for the future, but I think at least 2 out of the 3 goals he was culpable. But I think even the third goal he was at fault. Lozano 100%, and I believe on both of the free kicks he was supposed to be marking his man. So very stupid. Lozano, he's not even watching the striker go by. He's literally, Lozano's right behind him. He's watching. He's caught watching the ball.
That was a bad placement.
And not finding Lozano. So very, 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 very poor from him. Danilo came in 29 seconds, scored a great goal. He did a really good job at putting him in. And for Juventus' sake, Douglas Costa was unbelievable. Again, proving how important he's going to be. Ronaldo, very good. But there's still the philosophy and the midfield that are very different right now. the midfield with Khedira, Matuidi, and Pjanic. Khedira and Matuidi, Juventus still never got the world-class midfielder that they needed. And I constantly see the mistakes being made where they're not able to play that philosophy that Sarri wants, which is very quick touches. It was very good for 60 minutes. But I knew after that, there was going to be issues. And that's why, Mike, at 2-0, when everybody was celebrating, and even at 3-0, I was not content. I was like, I knew Juventus were going to dip off because they only have 60 minutes in their legs. They started training very late on with Sarri, with this new philosophy.
They didn't have the fitness
so
Napoli
you could be attested. I was saying, it's still not over.
Yeah.
I knew Napoli were going to get back into this match.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was going to go like this. I did predict Napoli to win or tie.
You did say it wasn't over. Even when it was 3-3, you said... It was like
when it was 3-3,
Napoli's gonna come back.
Yeah, I had a feeling, but it made it very exciting. It made a very exciting display.
That was a sick game.
And you know what's weird? After these 2 weeks, this is a good question, and I'm thinking out loud with this. So many goals. Like for Serie A, that's always called like the defensive boring league, not a lot of high scoring. We're seeing a completely different Serie A. And I've seen people say, oh, it's early, but it's always early. And we never see this many goals this early on. Serie A outscored Premier League last week. Outscored every league last week. Is it defensive mistakes? Yeah. Or is it just a bunch of coaches in Italy who have philosophies of attacking, and that old school defensive mindset is just not there?
I think that atrocious defending
or really bad defense.
I think it's a little bit of both. Like Fiorentina is built to go forward. They play the 4-3-3, so they're looking to score a lot of goals, which they did score 3 goals. But I see a lot of defensive mistakes.
Exactly. Yeah, that's like. From any other season, like for some reason you see some bad man marking, bad fouling, just horrible. You're like, what's going on? Like I feel like I never seen it the past few seasons.
On the Fiorentina game, the goal that
Kwame
scored. The goalkeeper sent a ball 50, 60 yards up in the air, and the defender is staying back, and the guy he allows him to stop the ball, turn around, take him on one-on-one, and then he gives him the inside, which is his favorite foot to score the goal.
It's like assisting him almost, right?
That guy would have
really
been killed.
bad.
He would have been killed a couple of years ago. They would have murdered him.
Yeah, really.
He would have been
really bad defending.
Really bad.
No way he would have got away with that.
You know what's funny? Ludo made a really good point that I never thought about. Because obviously we didn't hear about you thinking about the handball, because we all talked about the handball last week, how to change, that no matter what, if your arm's out. Ludo was saying that the defenders these days, they have to think so much about everything. They have to make sure their hands are over here. They have to make sure that, even a centimeter of offsides can be proved to be anything. He's like, you have to make sure that you're not balanced in the right way and all these different things. He's like, when you jump for a header, you can't jump with your arms out anymore.
Natural way to jump.
Otherwise, the ball will hit you. He's saying defenders are having to think so much about everything that they're doing that, maybe that's a cause for a lot of the mistakes, which it could be.
Well, one thing that I want to point out is that, they keep saying that this is not, when you go up, it's got to be non-natural, But if you're playing defense and you're staying like this, is this natural?
No.
This is not natural to stay like this. Exactly. A player, if he jumps up or if you're making a cross and you're trying to balance yourself or you're trying to extend your leg. Yeah. Let's say the guy is making a cross and you extend your leg to try to stop the cross. Okay, but now you have to think, okay, I'm extending my leg. Usually, naturally, the arm will extend too, exactly. But now you have to extend your leg and keep your arm like this. That's not natural. So
same thing when you're going up for a header. Who the hell can jump like this? You need balance.
Yeah.
You need your arms to balance.
No, I don't like the rule. I don't like this rule. This is not. You should be able to jump naturally, and if this part of your natural ability, that should not be a handball, because now what happens is, some of the better players, skillful players, you're in the area, and you could see what happened with Dzeko. I don't think he was trying to do it on purpose, but when Dzeko went inside the area, the guy was like this, trying to defend the guy, and the guy kicked the ball on his hand. He tried to put his hand away, and it's a penalty. So.
Even, and the funny thing is that they say your arm has to be in an unnatural position. And when they say unnatural, they mean not right by your side.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Not natural. So is this natural?
Okay, I get on the crosses, I've adapted. I understand that when the cross comes in, you're supposed to put your arms behind your back. But then I see that they're jumping up for headers, and even if the guy heads the ball onto your arm, they're considered that unnatural. But who the hell can jump without their arms waved out? To me, like I said, I don't like the rule. I like the idea that, they're going to call everything, so it's a little bit more black and white. But to me, it doesn't work. I don't like it.
No, we are at the beginning, and the rule is only a month old. So they're probably going to have to look at it right now. I think the referee is having a problem. The defense are having a problem. The coaches, players, they're all having to adjust to it. But it probably needs to be relooked at again.
But before we get too far, what do you think about even the centimeters of offsides? The ones that you can't even tell, but they're ruled offsides. What do you think about?
Well, I think that the offside, that's... if you're offside, you're offside, and that can be determined even by 1 inch. So that's determined, and it's scientific, and you can, if you're not sure, you look at it, it's offside, and that's the end of it. There's no argument there.
You know what?
The arguments are, with the handball. That's the big argument.
You know what? There was a journalist, and I brought this up last time on TV. He was with Cassano, he's with Vieri, and they all don't like the new rules. And they were talking about, you saw Ronaldo last week versus Parma. He was offsides by literally like centimeters. And he was saying that it's actually the player's not at an advantage. He's saying if you're a centimeter offsides, you actually have a disadvantage because Ronaldo's thinking, I have to step back before I could even go. So he doesn't even have... there's nothing propelling him forward, and he's actually at a disadvantage. And I'm not sure if it was Cassano or Vieri. They were saying that we're making this into robots. He said you can't have that 1 centimeter is offsides. He said that this is becoming like a video game. He said it should be that, if you have an advantage, then you're good. But then there's also the issue of, how do you determine what is what?
Right, then you have to change the rule. This is the rule, and with the offside... Like I said, you can be pretty precise. If you're ahead, then it's offside. Unless you have to change the rule.
No, I agree with you. It should be black or white in that case because if it's 2 centimeters, then that's when it really gets confusing. It should, if you give that leeway and stuff, I get what you're saying. Even though it's a disadvantage at going back, even the slightest inch, if it's offside, it's offside. We have the technology now, so it shouldn't really be excused. And the attackers know this.
Right, and the same thing with the goal, technology.
Passing the line, right?
No, that it's pretty scientific.
Yeah, exactly.
You look at it. The other
Piontek
goal
this week.
Yeah, Piontek. We all thought it was a goal.
Yeah, I thought it was a goal.
And then they went and looked at it. Okay, was this much? Okay, that's fine. That's the rule. And
don't make it complicated. Right?
Yeah, I'm
don't
okay with that.
it.
Unless you change the rule. This is the rule. I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
The most difficult thing is the handball.
Yeah, that's the hardest thing up to this point.
And
checking the VAR.
And
going
checking
to actually check the VAR.
And checking the VAR.
Correctly.
Because the protocol, and that I don't agree with it. The protocol is, okay, the referee is right there. He thinks it's a penalty. Mertens throws himself on the floor, but the referee didn't see it. So he says it's a penalty. Somebody from the VAR should contact him and say, listen, you should go see it again because we think it's not a penalty. And the protocol is unless it's a clear, without any doubt, then you stay with the referee's decision.
So
that is the protocol right now. I don't agree with that. I think that should be changed. And on a case like that, where you could see the guy dove, if you need to check it from different angle, because the referee has only one angle. But when you go see it on TV, you can
multiple.
You can check different angles, and then if you can determine that it was not a penalty. So that's something else that needs to be reviewed.
That's nuts. To me, it's absolutely insane that even today in 2019, where we could determine if Ronaldo's toenail is offsides, but we can't determine Mertens that he's not contacting.
It's crazy.
Every single goal should be checked.
Yeah.
Every single goal. And I don't care if the next play starts, they should be able to say, oh, look, we found something on the last goal. You have to go back and do it.
I agree.
There's too much of this.
Because it's the correct decision at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But anyway, just to touch on it, because I know you weren't here from last week. So I said we got to talk about it for a couple minutes. Milan, Brescia, they won 1-0. Milan won over Brescia. Again, another difficult one. Gianpaolo started Piontek and Paquetá on the bench. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah,
I couldn't believe the
very
lineup
strange.
when I saw that. And also, Gianpaolo changed the formation that he was working on all summer from a 4-3-1-2
After
to
one match.
4-3-2-1. He said that the 4-3-1-2 could not work for Milan. He said he saw after their loss to Udinese that it couldn't work. It wasn't beautiful. Definitely wasn't beautiful. But Milan got the 1-0 win against Brescia, which was the most important thing at the end of the day. Piontek was so unlucky. I mean, the guy came in. He took an elbow to the face, to the nose. He was bleeding. He has a ball saved off the line. He had an incredible save from the goalkeeper of Brescia that, last year he would have buried that one. He's been very, very unlucky this preseason and the first two games.
Paquetá played good though when he came on. I think he should definitely be a starter from now on.
Castillejo belongs nowhere.
Yeah, Castillejo, I don't think he should be starting. I don't think he's good enough, to be honest with you. Maybe they can find a new role for him. But yeah, this would still look like Gattuso's Milan. It hasn't changed into Gianpaolo's philosophy yet, but that's okay just because it's only a couple games in. You know, stuff like that takes time. But it looks like the same old Milan.
They made a point. Cassano made a point. He said, and I'll just repeat this. I said it last time for you. He said, if you're going to get these players for Milan, you should have kept Gattuso. He said, Gianpaolo can't do anything with these kind of players. He said, Gianpaolo needs actual technically gifted players. Gattuso could get the most out of your guy. So he said, if Milan's Mercato, this is what you want to do, you should have just kept Gattuso.
Yeah.
He's a motivator, at least.
I think it's a working in progress. They changed some players. I think Suso, he belongs there. I think Paquetá belongs there. He had, I saw a nice shot that hit the post.
Yeah.
It came
Yeah,
back.
that's right.
You need to find space for Piontek and Suso and also for Paquetá.
And now they got Rebic, official.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Rebic, who I remember from the World Cup, was a great attacker. You know, a very hungry guy, very determined, skillful. Kind of reminds me of Mandzukic in a way. Like, I feel like these Croatians are just built differently. So that's I think that Rebic is actually going to do really good for Milan. And I think that they got a good signing in him. But I guess we'll see what he's able to do. They still needed work in the midfield. And the center back partnership with Musacchio, I don't like. But I do agree with you guys that it's going to be a work in progress for Milan. But, you know, they also need this work to come quick because they can't be losing games against Udinese again. You know, the same old thing with them. But what do you think about the exclusion? As a coach, you put Paquetá and Piontek on the bench. You think that demotivates them or you think that motivates them?
Well, if you're a professional, that has to get you upset and get you to work harder, and in order for you to be, and you have to, the best thing that you can do is to prove the coach wrong. So when you go back into the field and you perform, then that's your motivation. Hey, I proved you wrong. I was right. I should have been there on the field. So as a professional, I should motivate you.
Yeah, definitely should, but I think it depends on the player.
Lazio Roma, the Derby della Capitale. Insane.
That was crazy.
The craziest 1-1, the craziest draw I've ever seen.
The scoreline didn't do it justice at all.
Yeah, I feel like 1-1, you know, somebody watches the game like, maybe it was like a boring 1-1.
How many posts have in that game?
I believe 6 or 7 posts and crossbars were hit in this match.
Incredible.
2 from Zaniolo, 1 from Lucas Leiva or Luis Alberto. That was unbelievable from outside the box.
They're doing the crossbar challenge over there.
It was just one post to the next.
Yeah.
Man of the match to the post, to the crossbar. Roma took the lead, right? 1-0 in the beginning. Kolarov, a penalty. Like you were saying, you know, the one Dzeko hits him, Milinkovic-Savic, his arm is out. They give a penalty kick. Kolarov scores. And then Lazio got themselves back into this match. Again, bad defending, too. I mean, I was watching. Fazio gives... who scored the goal for... was it Correa? Correa or Luis Alberto? Luis Alberto scored it. I mean, so much space inside the box. To have that much space inside the box for a player. I thought Lazio played a really good game. I was pretty impressed with Lazio. I love Luis Alberto in his new position. Inzaghi pushed him. You know, he used to play as an attacking midfielder right behind the strikers. Now he's in the 3-5-2. He's in the midfield, directly in the midfield, and I love his positioning. Inzaghi was talking about how he changed him a little bit. He wanted to make him like more box to box, who can go up. And then he's got Lucas Leiva and Savic, who could do the more defensive job. And I love his positioning. To me, he's been the best center midfielder in the league in his first 2 weeks, in the opening 2 weeks. I liked him a lot.
Lazio definitely had the advantage over here because Roma had a new coach, Ed Inzaghi, for a few years now. And I got to say, Lazio were definitely unlucky that they only came away with a point. Because to me, I thought they were much better than Roma overall. And like we said with other coaches, when you got a new coach, it's going to take some time. Fonseca likes that attacking capability. He likes that mentality to keep attacking. But it's too early to judge. But I do feel like Lazio, they could have came away with a win for sure on this one.
If anything, I thought Lazio was going to be able to pull through.
Yeah,
They showed that they were unlucky.
I thought Lazio was a better team as a whole. They have some nice players that now they have some nice chemistry
They
together.
know each other, yeah.
Fonseca, of course, is new. He's got some players, so he needs to work. And then also, there were a lot of changes in the management. What happened with Totti and the Rossi? A lot of things happened on top of the management. So it's going to take a little while.
I was disappointed to see because Zappacosta was supposed to play as a right back, but he got hurt in training. I really wanted to see Roma with a real right back because we know Florenzi's always been an adapted right back.
Yeah.
He was going to go on the left wing, and it would have been really nice to see them up there. But then they do Under and Kluivert. Zaniolo did really good, and I think even Dzeko this season, Dzeko's newfound motivation under Fonseca after he was expected
the renewal, right?
Yeah, he was expected to leave. So I thought it was the scoreline didn't do it justice, but I think that Roma did play a good match. Not great, but again defensively, it's just all over the place for me. Defensively,
Mancini's first time starting, right? That's
yeah,
why. So
Mancini's first time starting,
especially for defenses now. Everyone's
and even
getting
Paul
new
Lopez
center-backs
in the back. But yeah,
right,
for me, I thought Lazio they impressed me. Probably a little bit unlucky with the 1-1. In my opinion, it would have leaned towards Lazio.
Sure, yeah.
Good derby again.
Yeah, for sure.
More exciting than the scoreline did it justice.
Says,
But Luis Alberto this season, I can't get over how much I love him. I really like him. I think he's a really good player. Let's see, Inter 2-1 against Cagliari.
That was a shaky match.
Like I said, these are the games. I'm telling you now. I know I'm gonna sound crazy, but these are the kind of games that win you Scudetti.
Oh, of course,
These are the games.
It's the smaller.
Last
smaller
year,
teams.
this would not have been a win for Inter.
Probably would have been.
This was a hard one, a very hard one. In Cagliari, I think Conte, even after the match, should watch how many big teams are gonna struggle in Cagliari.
Yeah.
It was a really tough one for them. They struggled big time.
It was the last 15 minutes too. It was going, and that's when Sensi did an amazing trick in the box, and I think Pisacane fouled him, and it was a clear penalty. And that's when Lukaku slotted it home to give them a win. Because I was getting nervous. I was going for Inter on this one, and I was like, damn, 15 minutes. I was like, could Conte squeeze a win over here? But they got the job done.
This is what Inter do. And speaking about really good midfielders, Sensi has been unbelievable.
What was the quote with Conte with Barella and Sensi?
Conte said that Barella's struggling because Barella didn't start. He said Barella doesn't understand exactly what I need from him. Yeah. He said Sensi, anything I tell him, right away. He said completely understood exactly what I needed from him.
And me and Marco actually were like, oh, Barella's going to come. He's going to conquer. We're like, Sensi, yeah, he seems like a decent transfer.
Yeah.
But, he's surprising us. He's doing very good.
I didn't know Sensi was as good as he is. He's been phenomenal.
Sure.
Italy's got so many good young midfielders. It's incredible. But he's a very aware, technical, little kind of like Verratti-esque, where he just knows how to dink the ball in. And look how far up he was he earned the penalty kick. It was him that got it. But overall, this Inter is a group. We knew this. This is an Inter that together they play really good football. You see how Conte plays with them. Still Sanchez that was on the bench. Lukaku He didn't have a great game though. Lukaku didn't have a great game. He did score on the penalty kick, and then some stuff happened, which we'll talk about. But at the end of the day, they won the game. That's the most important thing. I saw Conte's Juventus win so many of these games that could have went either way. Exactly. But then they walk away with 2-1, and you don't look back. You get the win. You go on. I think Cagliari died out towards the end of the match. I know that they were still pushing up.
They were packing down on defense.
Once they scored the 2-1, Cagliari were deflated. They didn't go up with any real intention. At 1-1, they still had a chance. I thought they were going to be able to do something. Nainggolan was all over the place, but even he was a little shaky. I don't know. I wasn't crazy. And even Simeone came in at halftime. He didn't do a thing. So Cagliari, they look like they have a team. They look like they do have a team. But Inter was just too strong.
They have Olsen too. They started Olsen.
Yeah, Olsen started on his first game. What do you think about the game?
This is, I think it's Conte. You can see right away. I mean, he wants no excuses. This is the players that I want. This is how I want to play, and this is how we're going to win. And he doesn't care whether it's the first game or he doesn't want any excuse. Oh, this was the first game, or we're not ready, and this is not ready. No, He's from the first minute, the first game, he's yelling at everybody, screaming. They know exactly what they want. Him and Marotta, they know exactly the players they want. They know that Perisic, Icardi, and some of the players, they don't belong. Huh?
Yeah, Nainggolan was the
Nainggolan, they don't belong. The project, they don't belong in the project. They out, and that's it. And they seems to be from Zhang to Marotta to Conte. They all seem to talk the same language and the same project, and we go forward. You want our project? You want to stay with our project? You listen to what Conte say, and there's no. They don't leave anything by chance. Exactly. Now some other, we should get this, or it's the first game, or the guy's not in shape. There's no such thing with Conte. The first game, how can you get cramps on the first game of the first year? You get cramps. You've been practicing for a month every day. So this is where Conte, I think, is at his best. He works them very hard. He trains them very, very hard.
To their limit.
And me and Mark have been there. When we see them how hard these people and these players, he makes them train. And he has a very, he's very clear on his tactics, and he works for hours and hours so that everybody knows where they have to be at any time. He doesn't leave anything to chance. And you want me to go over this now or do it later? Sure. So if you see the way Inter plays, they played the 3-5-2, which is what he started with, what he was playing with Juventus. So he's got the three defenders, which was D'Ambrosio, Ranocchia, and Skriniar, because some of the players are hurt.
Godin wasn't fit.
Godin and the Rai. So for right now, but he's very clear on this. But what is very clear on the tactics is that this player, which is the 3-5-2, when they defend, this player goes here, and this is how they defend. And when they attack,
lift it up a little bit so they can see a little higher.
So when they attack, there's two players. So as I said, when they defend, this is how they defend. And when they attack, this guy here, it becomes a right wing, which is Candreva, and Asamoah becomes a left wing. So these two players here, there is a lot of running, because when you win the ball, you become a wing. When you lose the ball, you become a defender. So these guys, they have to go over here. And in the transition, they become a midfielders. So you have to be able to defend, midfield, and attack. When you go up, you dribble somebody and you make the cross.
So you need an extra lung, basically. You can never stop running.
Yeah, these guys, they're non-stop.
Yeah, Candreva. Look how good Candreva's been. Candreva and Brozovic, they look so skinny now too. Like you see them, they're non-stop.
Candreva shaved his beard too.
But it's crazy. Even Brozovic.
It was like Lichtsteiner and Samoa at Juve, right?
In front of the defense, they have Vicino and Brozovic. So these are the guys that set up with Sensi. That he kind of, like you said, when he did the penalty, he was right here
in the box. That's right.
He's like the Vidal. Remember Vidal with Juventus? He was all over the place.
He gets a chance. He gets a chance if these two guys open, he goes here. If these guys are in here, he goes in here. So he's got a lot of freedom, this Sensi. And he's a good player. He's a very technical player. So, but everybody knows when they get the ball, everybody knows their position, where they have to be.
Blade of grass,
so
right?
if Brozovic or Vicino get the ball, they know that Asamoah is here. They know that Candreva is here. So if he gets the ball from this guy, he doesn't even have to look. He just turns and he puts the ball here. He knows that he's here.
He doesn't have to look. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
You have to watch the front too. You have to watch Lukaku and Lautaro, or Lukaku and Sanchez, whoever it's going to be. Same thing what he did at Juve again, because we saw Llorente and Tevez, that big guy and that small guy. Lukaku, every time he flicks it over to Lautaro, or he controls the ball, leaves it back. As he's leaving it back to the center midfielder, who could be Santi, it could be anybody, Lautaro is running towards the left side. Like, they're very, very simple, standard tactics. You know, a lot of the time Skriniar gets the ball, he's looking for Lukaku. So it's standard. It's very standard.
A lot of off the ball movement too, right?
And also, like you were saying about the fitness levels, that's what gets you to win these games at Cagliari 2-1, where even until the last second you're struggling, but because they're so fit and they're so ready for these games, there was nobody huffing and puffing like they were even at Juve, you know, like De Ligt pulling up cramps, or guys looking tired, or even mentally, you know, to not know where you have to go. You don't see that. They're constantly doing the exact thing that Conte needs from his teams. And that's why you get Conte. That's why you pay him. He's the most paid coach in the league. And that's why Inter win the Scudetto, is because of a coach like that. Because you've got a coach that wins these kind of games. And again, I laugh at everybody who says Inter fans are going crazy because they beat Lecce and they beat Cagliari, and they think that they could do something. When these are the games that you drop, and then you're at the end, you're like, wow, how are we only 4 points behind on this? Yeah, it's games like these that you win.
Teams.
So I always laugh when people are like, you're overreacting to winning against small teams.
But I give a lot of respect to Inter's project.
Lecce a little bit less, Cagliari a lot more, because Cagliari is going to be tough.
Inter gave a lot with their project. They're doing everything the right way. They're getting someone like Marotta. They're getting someone like Conte. Zhang knows what he's doing as a president, and I think they're all united. There's nothing going behind anyone's back. Everyone knows what's going on, and they're really improving, as you can see. They're doing well.
Skriniar said Conte brought us a winning mentality. He said that's the difference.
Yeah.
Right. And also, he's got some backups for, he's got Sanchez as a backup for over here. He's got Biraghi, who's a good player on the left side. So he's got alternatives here. So in every position, he's got some alternatives.
Right. Yeah.
What I don't like about this formation is that if you play against a very, very good team, either in Champions League or in the Italian league,
You get exposed.
if this guy is here and this guy is here and this guy is there, if there's a counterattack, you're probably going to be one-on-one with the other forwards. And if you're playing against Barcelona and
Griezmann, Neymar, and Messi are the three.
Right.
Not Neymar.
Neymar,
Suarez.
yeah.
But if you got Suarez, if you got Griezmann, if you got Messi, if you got Cavani, if you got
ICARDI now.
Neymar, if he's playing with PSG. But if you got these guys that are really fast, and now you're stuck here one-on-one, you can or Ronaldo or you could get punished.
Yeah.
Against the best teams, you get punished. The rest, I like this formation for the top teams in Europe.
You think they should change it?
Real Madrid,
I think play in the back.
I think that this is not the best
I guess we'll
tactical formation.
In he's playing Sparta Praha first in a few weeks, so I want to see how he does on that
That's
one.
also exactly what Conte's always been criticized by. Was in Champions League, even though he's only played in Champions League 3 times, he was very criticized by that. But yeah, well, I guess we'll see.
But he has enough players to
rest, right, and
to
change
adapt.
formation.
No, you could play the 4-2-1-2, or the 4-3-2-1. You could play. He has enough. He has enough players where he can adjust,
guys.
And I'm sure he will.
Unfortunately, there's one thing last in the game that we have to talk about. And I can't believe it's week 2, and I can't believe at all we would have to talk about this season. But Lukaku, when he was taking the penalty kick, he got racially abused again by Cagliari, by some Cagliari fans, probably the ultras, the guys that are in the curva. Not the first time, even in the last 7 months that this happens at Cagliari. And there's even Eto in 2010. The same thing happened to him. Matuidi, same thing happened to him. Moise Kean, same thing happened to him. Now Lukaku again. All of those were the same section of Cagliari fans who were throwing racial slurs at Lukaku. Lukaku posted online right after. I'll read it right now. He posted on social media. He said, many players in the last month have suffered from racial abuse. I did yesterday too. Football is a game to be enjoyed by everyone, and we shouldn't accept any form of discrimination that will put our game in shame. I hope the football federations all over the world react strongly to all cases of discrimination. Social media platforms need to work better as well with football clubs, because every day you see at least a racist comment under a post of a person of color. We've been saying it for years and still no action. Ladies and gentlemen, it's 2019, and instead of going forward, we're going backwards. I think as players, we need unity and make a statement in this matter to keep the game clean and enjoyable for everyone. Obviously, well said. It's very sad. Even in England, you see it happened the first 2 games for Manchester United. Pogba and Rashford, who both missed a penalty kick. Afterwards, it was just onslaught, especially on social media. I think it was only in social. I'm not sure if it happened in the stadium, but it's so sad that the same thing keeps happening and we don't learn from it. It's sad that it happens, number one. But it's almost even more sad that no action is taken against these guys. We see in Premier League, it's very understood. They find the guy with the camera. There's videos inside the stadium. We saw videos inside the stadium where you could clearly identify people that did the stupid things. You get them and you ban them for life. No more putting the kids in the curva. No more of these stupid, initiatives that don't solve the problem.
Yeah, exactly.
You start tossing these guys out for life, or you start deducting points from teams because some way it's 9 years that it's happened at the same place. It's 9 years.
There has to be some drastic measures.
And even more, probably more, but I'm just saying 9 years.
Point deduction, ban from not just that stadium, but in all of Europe stadiums, heavily fined for that individual because there are cameras, like we said, we saw a lot inside the stadium. We talked about this last year on the podcast also, and it's a shame that we have to talk about it again. Nothing was done. There has to be a bigger initiative, a bigger thing to solve this. Deduct 3 points from Cagliari. Find that person. Ban him from the stadium. See if that's going to happen again. Because what was done wasn't enough for it to stop happening. It's not a real solution.
And once is enough. Once is enough to ban a person for life. Once is enough. Anytime it happens, there's no more of these.
100%.
Okay, it only happened once. No. First of all, it's been happening for 9 years. But second of all,
it shouldn't even get to that point.
It should never. And again, it happens all over, right?
Yeah.
But it's
just
the
how you deal
reaction
with
from
it.
it is the
It's
worst
how you
part.
deal with it.
Premier League, just follow exactly what they damn do. They have the videos. They take the guy's gone. You're never gonna see it again. You're not gonna consistently see it happening. So to me, it's very sad. These people are very sad that do that. But then on top of that, our reaction is just
very
so
poor.
so sad.
Well, I want to commend on Lukaku because after that happened and after he scored, he didn't stop playing. I don't want the game to stop. Okay, and even Lukaku, he was talking to one of his teammates and he was saying, be tough.
Yeah.
And I believe in that. You do not stop the game. The game has to keep going. What you stop is you stop the people from going into the stadiums. So like he said, you put a camera where this happens. Is it in the curva? It happens in the curva. You know exactly who they are. What is all this baloney? They want the passport. I got to go to the stadium. They want my passport. They want my ID. They put the name on the ticket. So you know exactly who's sitting there. Exactly. You know exactly who is sitting there. And you have the camera too. So what else do you want? Once you identify the guy, you know exactly who he is or she is. You go there, you pick him up, and every Sunday at game time, what time is the game? At 2:45? At 8:45? You got to show up at the police station. You're not going to watch any more games. For those 2 hours, you're going to be in the police station. And that's it. And you resolve the problem fast. These are not fans that love soccer. These are not fans that love Cagliari. These are idiots. Yeah. And those idiots, you get them out of the stadium. They don't belong in the stadium. So you get them out of the stadium, and you'll see it as soon as you start, that when the other people realize, hey, I'm not going to watch any more games, it's going to stop.
Yeah.
No.
I think that's exactly the point. It's like you leave a cookie jar right next to a kid. You think the kid's not going to eat the cookies? No, you got to move the cookie jar. You have to have some action that stops it from ever 100%. Happening. And at this point, it needs to be done. I can't believe I'm like sickened that we keep having to say it. Hopefully this time something gets done. But unfortunately, I'm not the most sold that something really will happen. We see a lot of these things that are just tossed up online initiatives that don't actually do anything. Until you start banning the guys, I agree with you. I agree. I think nothing's going to happen. And I do think that if Lukaku wants to stop the game, they should stop the game. Like, I think that they could decide. I think that is the rule. I think if the guy wants to stop, then the referee, or it's at the referee's discretion. So I don't really care about that. I just think that real action needs to be taken. Like, what is happening today? What is happening today to stop it from happening tomorrow? Right. That's a real question. No, is a letter from Cagliari saying we don't associate ourselves with this stopping anything?
No.
That's all they did.
Right.
They released a letter.
No, that's not going to work.
Either, okay, but why can't they send security and go grab
No, that's what they should do.
Yeah, that's what I said.
They have the stewardess watching them too. They have like on
you
each
get the
section,
security and you get them.
them.
And if you think that's going to cause a disruption, that might cause mayhem, whatever, on the field, and people could get hurt, you go get them the next day, in the afternoon, after the game. You go to their house. You have the names. You have the face. After the game, you go to their house, and you go get them. And you bring them to the police station. And that's it. It's going to stop.
Yeah.
In a few weeks, this thing will stop if you do that.
I agree with you. Again, it's not really brain surgery. If we just copy what has made it stop in England, I think that we'd be able to recreate it. And it's never going to stop completely, maybe, but it's definitely going to hinder it.
Decline for sure.
In a huge way. So, unfortunately, it happened. We got some more football to talk about before we finish. Cagliari, sorry. Atalanta lost 3-2 to Torino. I can't believe Atalanta's start to the season has been very confusing. One of the best defenses last year in the league conceded already. It's a fourth goal of the season already. No, sixth goal of the season in total. And to Torino, they're playing at home too. Bergamo was a very tough place for a lot of top teams to go to. Zapata scored 2 unbelievable goals. I don't know if you guys saw the goals. That one of the goals that Zapata scored was absolutely ridiculous. But yes, tough start to the season for Atalanta. Last week they were able to get pulled back because of Muriel, but this week it wasn't enough. So really, really difficult. Fiorentina, Genoa won 2-1. Again, like you said about Kwame. And Fiorentina's defense, which we saw, was very shaky against Napoli. And Genoa was a really good team. With Andrea Azzoli, I love the way that they play. Like, the football that's on display at Genoa is beautiful.
And they have a bunch of new exciting signings, which is very fun to watch. Yeah, fun football for sure.
Kwame, I know we talked about the mistakes that were made on the Kwame goal, but also Kwame, to have the character as a young kid, the touch was phenomenal. Amazing. And then to keep attacking his man. I know Dragoschi made actually some good saves in that game too, right? He made the Fiorentina game. That
was going in.
Did you watch it? Did you see the game?
No, I saw the second half. I didn't see the first half. I saw the second half. I thought that Genoa was really playing well. I thought that Fiorentina played better the last week, but this week they didn't play as good. But at the end, they made it. Like I said before, the defender made mistakes. And at the end, Chiesa could have tied it up. Right? Tied it up. He hit the post, and then he had another shot, which the goalkeeper did not handle it well. But Fiorentina's got a lot of new players. They have a new owner. They have a new president, project. So they have a lot of new things going on. It's going to take some time. But I think they're on the right track, and I think they will do good things. Good things are going to happen to them, but they're going to have to be a little bit more patient.
Also, a quick shout out to Berardi, who scored 3 goals against Sampdoria.
First half hat trick, right?
13 minutes. 13 minutes. Berardi scored 3 goals. But this guy always seems to start his seasons off right. I feel like he always starts the season off right, and then all of a sudden he goes missing. Yeah. So I don't know if it's going to be the same case. Sampdoria's midfield defense, again, how many goals did they concede? They conceded 4 this game. Didn't they concede another 3 in their last against Lazio? Didn't they lose 3-0?
Yeah, they lost 3-0.
So 7 goals.
Yeah, well, Sampdoria is in a moment where they don't know whether the team is going to be sold. Vialli's group is going to buy it. Ferrero,
a new coach,
new coach. I think that has a lot to do with which directions is this team is going to go. So they got some problem. Which the sooner they resolve it, the better for the team.
Let's talk about the transfer market too. We got to talk the Champions League groups and transfer market for a second. Right. Transfer market: Rebic to Milan, we said it. Llorente to Napoli. Mkhitaryan from Arsenal signed for Roma. That's actually a good signing. I actually like that a lot. Yeah. Kalinic to Roma, which I don't really care about. Andre Silva went to Eintracht. And Icardi, at the moment right now, he just passed his medical for PSG. Somehow they found a solution for this Icardi, who for how many months have we been, since February when this whole thing came out, we didn't know what's going to happen. He could have went to Napoli. He rejected a move to Napoli, which he would fit perfectly in that team. You were asking for a center forward for Napoli. He would be a guy that would score so many goals at Napoli. So very strange that he rejected that move. He was apparently waiting for Juventus, who we knew Inter were never going to give him to Juventus.
He did not reject the move. His idiot of a wife rejected the move. He's like a little puppet. Whatever his wife tells him to do, okay.
Yeah, but he's still got a voice.
He has a voice. He's got no voice. He doesn't wear I can't believe this guy. That he's letting his wife ruin his career. The guy could have gone to a good team. and do some inside the area. I mean, he's one of the best inside the area. And you go and you sue you do a war with your team. I mean, I'm even surprised that anybody wants to deal with him and his wife.
He found the one team that will put up with any chaos.
Yeah, because
PSG.
He found this team PSG because PSG's got other problems with Neymar. Another idiot that doesn't know which color. Every week he changes the color of his hair because he doesn't know, which color he should play with. So I don't know. Is Neymar going anywhere?
No,
I think
he's going to stay.
But I agree with Marco here on this. And Marco was saying how it's not entirely Wanda.
You got really mad.
He's old enough to make his decision. So you might think, oh, Wanda's doing this. But, he says yes or no if he feels that it's right or not. Even though she does seem like...
Some people will never grow up.
Yeah, so that's his fault.
Some people will never grow up.
But don't put everything on Wanda at the end of the day,
It's
too.
his fault.
Yeah, exactly. It's partly
He's
his
the one who
fault.
got to grow up.
It's not just him, but
He makes a decision.
part of it.
Yeah,
the
but
day.
some people never grow up. It doesn't matter, you're 18, you say, oh, you're going to get to 21, you're going to grow up. No, you could be 40 and you still have not grown up. Hello, you could be 50 and still not grow up.
He
So
did good with
some
Tiki
people,
Taka with,
some
Casano
people will
talking
never
about
grow
that.
up.
Jeez.
To be honest, listen, I think for PSG, like I said, he found the one team that will put up with any bullshit in the world. I've never seen a team like PSG that will just accept any kind of drama.
Well, PSG is probably that desperate. They got a situation in the house with this guy Neymar, which they don't know which way he's going to go, if he's going to play, if he's not going to play.
Cavani got injured, Mbappe got injured.
Right, so
Both of them are injured.
it's a 1-year deal, right?
It's just a loan.
Yeah, it's just a loan
It's a
for
loan with
1
the
year.
option to
So if
buy.
it doesn't work out, hey, they're in a mess already. All right, so
They're in a mess already.
they'll deal with another year.
I think from Inter's perspective, like we were saying, they were kind of forced in a weird situation. Marotta kept coming out and saying that he was not going to be part of the project, no matter what. And I think it would have been insane for a player of ICARDI's caliber to sit out for a year on the bench and do nothing. And he's going to try to get his contract rescinded by suing Inter or try to beg and hope that somebody got injured and then he would be forced to play for Inter. So I think at the end of the day, Icardi would have thrown his career away if he stayed at Inter. Imagine a player that hasn't played in this many months. And to me, honestly,
So much talent.
he could fulfill his potential and become one of the best strikers in the world. To me,
100%.
he is one of the best number 9s, but he comes with a crazy amount of baggage.
Yeah, I mean, he could have gone from being $60-70 million to be worth nothing. So I'm sure that had a lot to do with it.
He's crazy. It would have been absolutely insane. And I think for Inter's perspective, at the end of the day, it is a loan. They didn't get to sell him, but the option's to buy at like 65 or 70 million. And I think that you do have a risk. Like I said, I think it's either going to go really, really good at PSG or it's going to go really bad.
You know
I think
what?
He's either become world class or he's going to cause a lot of issues.
Well, no, I mean, if he causes more issues, he's going to be worth nothing.
Yeah.
So it's in the interest. I'm sure, as much of an idiot that Wanda is, I'm sure she's going to realize this. But what I would like to find out, and I'm going to look into it, is that apparently on the contract of a player contract, and I don't know if it's just for Italy or if it's for all the players, there's a percentage of games that you have to play, like a 10%.
I believe that was just Icardi's contract. But
I heard that it's for any player.
What they
which
said
is,
for any...
For me, it's very difficult.
For any player, what it is that they can't say you will not have a place in this team. So they could send you to the Primavera and say, oh, he's going to practice, he'll get back. But you can't come out and say he has no shot at getting back into the team. Because legally in your contract, you're obligated to have a chance to play.
Right.
To have a chance.
But is
so
this...
you can't, how Marotta came out and said, he will not play. You can't say that because legally you have to have the opportunity to play for your team.
Right. But this thing that you have to play 10% of the games...
I heard that was just Icardi's contract.
Okay, we need to look
10%.
into that.
It has to be. It can't be everybody's contract that you play 10%. I believe it was just Icardi, but what's in everybody's
what I thought.
What's in everybody's contract is that a club can't blacklist you and say you're not going to be part of the team at all. They could BS and be like, oh, he's got an injury, he's going to play with the youth team for a little. But the way Marotta and everybody came out, they were legally going against the contract of what a football player has. And I think that that's worldwide. With this closing, Dybala staying at Juventus, a player who was looked like he was going to be kicked out of the club. They were looking at Manchester United, Tottenham, almost any team they were willing to give him to, except the Inter swap that we thought was going to happen at the end, the Inter-ICARDI swap. What happens for him right now? What happens for Dybala? What do you think?
Well, Dybala, I think the best thing that he has going for him is I think that Sarri likes him. I don't know if Agnelli and Paratici and Nedved had. I think they were the ones that wanted to see him out. But from what Sarri had said at the beginning, he believes in Douglas Costa. He believes in Dybala. So maybe that's the best thing that he has. Once Sarri gets back, he's gonna have some place where to play. Even though right now Douglas Costa, he's
not gonna replace him.
Douglas Costa is doing very well. Where you gonna go? You got Higuain, Douglas Costa, and Ronaldo. I'm even where is Dybala gonna go? Where is Bernardeschi gonna go? And where is Cuadrado gonna go? I mean, these are all another 3 great players for the same position.
Well, Cuadrado's older, and they've said that he's willing to take a step on the bench. Bernardeschi was almost. They were even talking about Bernardeschi being sold today, being sold for Rakitic. I think that Juve this summer screwed up big time. I really think. I think their Mercato started out unbelievable. De Ligt, Demiral, all these players that they got, Ramsey, Rabiot, very good. Number one, they didn't get a world-class center midfielder. I still believe that they didn't, and they're going to pay for that, in my opinion. De Beek, Pogba, a really good box-to-box midfielder. I think that they're really lacking. And number two, with the sales, Mandzukic, they've been trying to get sold. They can't sell the guy. They were trying to sell any player under the sun. Higuain, they were looking to sell. Matuidi. And they were trying to sell so many players, and I think that teams either didn't want them or they were refusing to leave. Even Emre Can was thinking about being sold. I think that Paratici had a really bad mercato in the sales, and Juventus paid big time with who they need to go. So maybe they were forced. They said, listen, Dybala, he's the only guy that we're going to be able to get some big money for. If we don't do him, we're risking with FFP maybe. So I think that was where the Dybala one goes. But now it's a case of, listen, if Higuain keeps scoring, is Dybala going to play the false number 9, which we've only seen him play at really Palermo, and it can even play there? I know that Sarri has said that he could play there, but big question marks.
If Higuain struggles, I think... Since Mandzukic is still on the team, he will be the center forward. Or what they can do is they can put Ronaldo as a center forward, and now they can create space for Cuadrado, Bernardeschi, Douglas Costa, and Dybala on the wings.
At the wingers, yeah.
It's a strange one. It's a good problem for Juve to have with all that, but still.
No, they. I mean, at the end, they're going to be okay. Because they have all this talent on the bench.
It'd be a problem if they didn't have anybody.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's gonna be. I'm very happy that Dybala ended up staying. I would think it would have been a disgrace for him to leave, and I do agree. I think that for Sarri in his first press conference to say that Dybala, Douglas Costa, and Ronaldo are the 3 players that you need to have inside of a squad. I mean, to me that seemed like a clear signal of these guys are going to be important for me.
Right.
You know where to play them.
And that's a little bit of the communication between Sarri and the top management. They're not talking the same language. Where in Inter, like I said before, they're all talking the same language. So they have to they need to strain this out.
Yeah. Maybe they saw that they said, "Listen, Sarri, be quiet next time." Because since then you haven't heard him talk about.
I think what happened, to tell you the truth, is that Nedved, Agnelli, and Paratici, they gave him pneumonia to Sarri and say, "Okay, you're going to stay, and you're not even going to be on the bench."
Remember Pirlo used to say in his book Gattuso, when he used to stab the guys with the fork, he said, "Oh, it was a muscle problem," just to put it on the side.
Yeah, right.
That he's going through a training course of how they got to speak after.
So he better learn quickly if he wants to get rid of. Otherwise, they're going to give him water pills instead of antibiotics.
The Champions League groups, before we end, I'm sure you saw, but I don't know. We Michael and I have commented, but Dad, I don't think you did. Group C is Atalanta, Dinamo Zagreb, Manchester City, and Shakhtar Donetsk. How do you feel about that?
Well, the way I saw Atalanta yesterday, they're not going too far.
Don't base it off that.
What do you think?
I don't know. Very, very tough. Very tough. I mean, you got no chance with Manchester City.
They already got the first place.
Yeah, they got no chance there.
Fighting for second.
Fighting for second, but Shakhtar, I think Shakhtar in the past, they're always there. They're always done well. Very, very tough.
But they do have a chance. It could have been a lot worse. This is a group that they actually have a chance.
Give me something positive, Gaetano, to say for the Bergamaschi watching this.
Well, the only thing I see is Zapata.
Okay. They score.
What a player! I mean, the guy is the goals that he scored, and yesterday, what a player!
World-class goals.
So, hopefully he can come
Napoli.
through.
Can you imagine if Napoli kept him? Because they had Zapata. They used to have him.
And they loaned him out to
and he would have looked like a great center forward for them right now.
Yeah,
even better than Icardi.
That's what they looked. That's what they needed.
Group D: Atletico, Bayer Leverkusen, Lokomotiv Moscow, and Juventus. By the way, wait. So who are you saying? Manchester City, and who's coming in second? Are you saying Shakhtar or are you saying Atalanta?
Well, I'm going for Atalanta.
Now who are you going for? Predict.
So I'll predict Atalanta.
Okay, we all say the same thing then. Okay. Atletico, Bayer Leverkusen, Juventus, Lokomotiv Moscow.
Juventus should be able to be the top team on that group.
Atletico look good though. Atletico look very good this season. Joao Felix again. He scored. I watched
this guy is what a great player.
Yeah.
Good, right?
The two of them, the Atletico and Juventus, should be able to go to the next round.
Yeah, I think.
But
so
what
too.
a player this guy is.
Huge money, but it looks like it's spent well.
Yeah. But he's the real thing.
And he's got character. He's 19.
Yeah.
He's 19.
Yeah, I saw him play here. Wow.
He seems humble too. So.
Nah, he seems good. I mean, his positioning is good. His skill is good, and he's got the personality. Kind of reminds me of like how Mbappe is, where like they don't get scared in like these big games. Like I never see Joao Felix. He's not scared to take on his man. Even some of the best defenders, I see him. He's like, I got the skill.
Yeah.
He nutmegged one of those guys the other day. I was like, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, he's got some skills.
No, Atletico look really nice. I think they have a really good team. Group E: Genk, Liverpool, Napoli, and Red Bull Salzburg.
Napoli and Liverpool.
Who's first?
In that order?
No. Liverpool first.
no.
Napoli finally didn't get screwed in the Champions League group. Remember last year they were with Liverpool, PSG, and they were tied on points.
They got a little bit.
It seems like with this Liverpool, what's going on
with
them and Liverpool?
Right?
Yeah. You're right. Last group: Barcelona, Dortmund, Inter, and Slavia Praga. This is a tough one.
That's a tough. Yeah, that's a tough.
Very tough. Very tough. But Barcelona and Inter in that order should be able to go through.
I think so too. We agreed on. I think all of them. We all got the same thing. All of our teams should be able to go through.
Yeah, the one that risks the most is Atalanta.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. And I think that Dortmund's going to be difficult, but I think that Inter will be able to.
They have what it takes.
Yeah, they should be able to
edge them.
Barcelona, I don't know if they're going to be able to beat Barcelona again like they did last year.
They tied with them at home, which was good.
They tied.
Oh, they tied.
They tied with them when Icardi scored last second. But yeah, I don't know. But they should be able to beat Dortmund. And that's it, guys. That's it.
Another hour for the to close the mercato.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I think there's an hour left.
That's right.
I think we know basically every deal that's getting done though.
You think anything else could happen in the last hour?
Not crazy. I don't think anything crazy.
No,
though, right? What do you think?
I would think that Neymar is something.
I can't see him have. There'd be a lot of
such
stuff
a huge move.
Yeah, that's too
like
big.
160 million. You could believe 160 million plus Dembele plus
that's too big for it to happen.
The defender that they were talking about all for this.
Navas went to PSG also.
Yeah,
right?
Navas went to PSG.
Big. Keylor Navas from Real Madrid, the goalkeeper.
Oh,
yeah. He went surprisingly.
And Areola went to Real Madrid.
Yeah.
And Areola that was a big move today. They did a swap.
Yeah.
Because this guy, even Real Madrid, they tied yesterday. I don't know if you saw. They tied yesterday. And Bale scored 2 goals and he got sent off.
What a match.
Bale?
Yeah, 2 goals and he got sent off.
Wow.
Yeah, they don't know. They don't look the sharpest right now.
Yeah.
But anyway, good week again for Serie A. Very, very exciting. Some unfortunate things, some better things, but I think now we got an international break. By the way, Mancini didn't call up Keane and Zaniolo. We forgot to say that. And he just said like a little while ago, he said that they need to act as professionals. because we know that they had an issue with the U21s. He said that not calling them up is going to help their career more than calling them up would help their career.
They got to grow up a little bit.
And I heard also Totti commenting on Zaniolo, and he also said he's got to grow up and he's got to keep his feet on the ground. And you're not anyone if you only play 10 games and you're good in 10 games.
It's difficult for young players today. There's so many temptations. There's so much. You have one good game. You're linked with a move to Real Madrid.
Social media.
I mean, Zaniolo played good against Real Madrid. All of a sudden, Real Madrid directors are meeting with him. His first Champions League match, they were already saying, you're going to Real Madrid.
Yeah,
so
it's crazy.
it's hard, and you're seeing that every day. And
that's where the club comes in. That's where the coach comes in. That's where the top management comes in.
Having guys like Zanetti, Nedved.
Right, to keep these guys
feet on the ground.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
That's true, yeah.
But I think
if you got Totti coming to you and talking to you, that
helps
for a young player,
because he was in your position.
Right. That means a lot.
And Totti broke when he was 16 years old. He's
right.
Even younger than where Zaniolo is. But I think it is difficult. And I guess we don't know the whole story with Zaniolo and Keane, but it's probably true. If Mancini came out and said it like that, and Mancini's a little bit of a hard ass too. But then if Totti said that about Zaniolo, but listen, they're both talented players. They're both going to do the thing. I know Keane and Cutrone, they played against each other this weekend. Neither of them scored, but hopefully they do good.
By the way, I met Mancini and Andrea Mancini, the son,
nice.
in Firenze.
They were at the game?
Yeah, they were at the game. And as you know, Andrea played for the New York Cosmos.
Oh, yeah.
And now he's working for Fiorentina because Joe Barone knew him. So I said hello to Andrea, who, when he was in New York, we were in touch. When he was traveling, he would always call me. So I went to say hello. He introduced me to his father, which I had met him before. So we spoke a few minutes.
Nice.
Seem nice?
Yeah, very nice.
Nice.
Hopefully the guy does something for us. Hopefully he's the person.
So far, he's been doing very good with Azzurri for sure. So.
With Mancini's son there, we're gonna say I'm thinking who's from Fiorentina, who's young and Italian from Fiorentina that's gonna get the call up to Italy. But his dad's gonna say, oh listen, we got this guy over here. I don't think there's that many players. Oh look, Rebic official right now. Milan just said it. Beautiful. Guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe, rate the podcast, follow our Instagram stories. We got a couple videos of Antonio. He's going around body talking to the big. You see how mad he gets when the guys don't like Cassano. The people and I love the thing about Antonio is he tells the guy, he puts words into the person's head. He's like, oh, it's Cassano's wife that doesn't that made him not donate money to Body and all this stuff. And then some people push back. They're like, no, Cassano's also
trying to make him the hero or something, right? All the time.
All the time. So follow our Instagram, 9/9/19, September 9th, 2019, Monday, the drop, the flags, the shirts, and the mugs.
Put post notifications on, guys, so you don't miss out.
They should go quick. Rate the podcast, as always. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.
Ciao, guys.